Hey Scorpio, welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are all having a blessed day. I'm going to see what wants to come out. If this does resonate, like, share and subscribe. It's always greatly appreciated. Full moon, 23rd of April. First card out, the Lovers. Card of choice, Gemini energy. It feels like understanding why you do things. What is the driving force, the intention? Seeing your own self-sabotage. It feels like an experiment of self. Being able to see all your ways, so that you can make better choices, see why you make the choices that you make, to see if that's even a choice you still want to make, seeing that in certain areas of your life, maybe something that you thought you had mastered, it's like finding a better way of doing something, coming back to the beginning, maybe revisiting old ways, old tendencies from many years ago. It's really getting to the root of something. Feels like it's going to change the way that you make decisions moving forward. Is an opportunity for you to create something better because of the time you've had to analyze your choices and why you make them. Clarify. Intention is key. Feels like journaling would be great right now. Write down your why. Wheel of Fortune in the recent past. It feels like really being sure of yourself, knowing yourself, having a strong sense of self, and then seeing something that it's like something that's been imprinted, something, a way, a mentality, an emotional reaction to something that it feels like it's you because it's what you've always done. It's a way you've always been. It's a behavior or an idea. But it's like coming to a realization that this is something that has been inherited, but maybe isn't something that's completely true to you. There's an opportunity for you to be even more yourself than you have always been. And it feels like you've always known yourself on a deep level, had a strong understanding of self. Or it's like you've backed yourself in terms of standing up for what you truly believe is right. Standing up for yourself. Doing what's right for you regardless of what others think. But there's some self-realization here. Feels like this, as difficult as it may be, feels like a spanner in the works kind of energy. It's giving you new vision. It's going to give you a new... It's like having a new set of eyes, seeing things differently, being able to navigate through things, around things easily. It's an effortless energy. But it feels like it's not been effortless to accept what needs to be accepted in order to surrender to yourself, to move forward effortlessly. It looks like really having to face yourself, going deep within yourself and being real honest with yourself about what you like, what you don't like, what's true to you and what's not, where you really want to move. What is that driving force? It's like rewriting the formula of the fuel, of your fuel. Cleaning something out, a purification. It's a lighter energy moving forward. It's going to change everything in terms of what you're building for the long term. It's going to be easier to communicate something or express something that you're cultivating in your mind, something you're creating. I'm hearing Frank Sinatra, My Way, Ace of Pentacles. It's like keep coming back to yourself. You could be making decisions that others seem or feel like they are reckless, but there's a knowing. Mastering your mind by being out of your mind. That's how it feels. It's like really being pushed to your limit mentally to learn how to master that. That you'll always have power over that. That you're the master of your mind. It's not the master of you. Mind over matter. Feels like things could be getting really intense so that you can learn how to have this strength, this mental strength. And for no other reason than that, you could be wondering why things are going wrong. It's like this is shaping you, shaping your mentality. Creating an inner strength that can't be destroyed. It's like indestructible energy. How you see yourself, the Hierophant. It feels like being very aware of what's going on, very aware of why, and very aware of yourself. It feels like being asked to study yourself at this time. Maybe going somewhere you can rest and relax. If there's opportunity to travel, opportunity to put yourself in a parasympathetic state around certain energies, or maybe around no one, but something that feels good, that's relaxing. It feels like there's a lot going on within you, even if there was nothing going on around you. And that to create a kind of space for you to expand, express, to roll with the punches, the alligator medicine's coming through, so that you can really see the truth of things. Feels like this is a lot to take on. This is a lot of energy, a lot of different energies, a lot of conflicting beliefs, parts of yourself that are rejecting things, while there's parts of yourself that are actually fighting to go after things. It's like some of you's happy with what you're doing, some of you's not. Some of you's all for it, some of you's resisting. Having to make peace, the war within self, make peace with all sides of yourself. It's like having that conversation. I know you're not interested in this right now. I know this ain't what you really want to do, but I want to do this because this is going to get us here. This is best for us here. It's like, it feels like having a briefing, like a meeting with yourself, with all parts of yourself, getting them in line, sitting them down like, look, I know you're not in the mood for this, but this is what we're doing right now. We're going to do this, and then come back and cater to that part of yourself, whatever that part of yourself is. Ten of Pentacles, Queen of Cups, Two of Pentacles, Seven of Swords, the Sun covering it all. What's for you is going to come with clarity. Don't let some kind of illusion or some kind of fear rush you to make decisions or take action on some kind of emotion. Give yourself time for things to settle. If you don't know what to do, do nothing. Take a minute. Feels like take a rest, take a break. There's a bigger picture. There's something for the long term. You could be feeling in a rush to do something, like if it needs to be done right now. It's like, yeah, the time is now. but it may not be as much of a rush as you're thinking. It's like needing to get something done this week, this month. Maybe it's to be done in 6 months, maybe it's to be done in a year. 1111. But being prepared for that, it's like stepping stone energy. Just because you're conscious of an action that needs to be taken or the way that something needs to unfold doesn't mean you need to get it all done overnight. It's like trying to build an empire overnight, trying to build a whole village overnight. It's like, think of the long-term plan. Instead of feeling overwhelmed about doing all of this right now, it's like, spread it out. What are the steps to get there? Come back to the first step. It's better to take action in a place of clarity than it is to rush to do something because of feeling like you're being pushed to. And not in terms of feeling a gut instinct to move. This feels like panic. If there's some kind of fear, if there's some kind of anxiety, to take a minute, drop into the feminine. It's like you asked to have this conflict. That's what's coming through. You asked to unravel parts of yourself, whether directly or indirectly. If there's a part of yourself that you wanted to overcome, it's like you asked for something contrasting. If you're in a place of stress and you ask for peace, it's like maybe you were sent more chaos to learn how to master that. It's like this is something you wanted to go through, something you wanted to experience at a soul level, something you wanted to understand, overcome. To really comprehend yourself. It's leading to nothing but blessings. What do you do about that then? Fill up your cup. Be kind to yourself through the conflict. It's like, don't be at war with yourself. Seeing the turmoil within yourself and then extracting what you need to, working through what you need to. Being okay with that. It's like really being okay with what you're feeling instead of running from feelings. Maybe there's things from the past, things that you've suppressed. They could be bubbling up, bubbling over. It's not a sign of going backwards, but there's a lesson here of sitting with the emotion. To be able to accept it, to love yourself anyway, regardless of the feelings that come up. Telling yourself what you need to hear, knowing you're worthy, knowing you're deserving, knowing you're enough, regardless of the emotion. It's like you are not your feeling, you are not your thought. And really not defining anything as good or bad as a thing. It's like it's not a thing. It's like something that could have really been a thing, is about to no longer be a thing. And what I'm seeing is a big weight, like an asteroid. Is it an asteroid? Like a thing. And it's a heavy, dense weight. And it slowly turns into light and then disperses. It's like something that was so heavy, like sun energy, it gets smaller and smaller and smaller, and it just disperses into, like, breaks away. Something's dissolving, something's releasing, something that was a weight, a burden, is no longer a thing because of how you're choosing to relate to it. Few examples coming up, and it could be nothing to do with this, but just for an example, what I was saying in the reading before about feeling restricted, feeling like I need to have have myself put together a certain way to be worthy, that unless I was put together and my hair was done, my makeup was done and everything was perfect, that I wouldn't put myself out there in some way, that if my creations weren't perfect, that I wouldn't put them out there. It's like, that actually then led to me being fearful of makeup, fearful of these things, because feeling like they attract me, that if I was to do it, that it was then a bad thing. Same with smoking. It's like really feeling guilty, being hard on myself for smoking. The judgment that I've received for that, how I've been made to feel, taking those beliefs on as my own, it was a weight. It was a resistance. And I was led to change my relationship with that, to see it as, it's not a thing. If you do it, you do it. If you don't, you don't. If you wear the makeup, you wear the makeup. If you don't, you don't. It's not a thing. It's not an energy. Something that I've been feeding, like a fear, a feeling, a narrative, a belief, whatever it is, something that's been fed over many years, that you can't do this way, you can't do that way, whatever it is. Something that was heavy, feels like a dark cloud, really wanting to do something a certain way, or end a habit, end a way of doing something, start a way of doing something that felt so impossible. It's like it was a thing, and it's now becoming not a thing. Something is dissolving, something is releasing. Emotional block clearing, maybe it's an abundance block. Maybe like some kind of subconscious reprogramming. This could have been something that's been carried through generationally. Something's clearing, it's a beautiful energy, it's going to feel like a new day dawning. Feels like it's had to get very heavy for something to combust. You could still be in that heaviness right now. The choices that you make are going to help you to move out of this. Let your guard down, surrender to the mind. It's like, just be. If something's getting too much overthinking, too much stress, too much anxiety, something's too heavy, and then it's like it gets so heavy that it just explodes, it just combusts, it boils over. And with that, it's released. It could even feel uncomfortable releasing whatever this person, place, thing, energy, narrative, belief is, because it's something you've carried for so long that you've never felt yourself without it. Feels like grieving a part of yourself, even if it's a part of yourself that hasn't been helpful. But you're being asked to let your guard down. Be less defensive. Slow down. Feels like really dropping into the feminine, regardless of gender. Just that energy. It's a feeling. Do what feels good. I'm hearing life's a beautiful moment. ASMR Pink. Chariot. Some of you dream of traveling. Go. It's like it's time. You could be debating, well, what's the best way to go? It doesn't matter. Fly. Go through the seas. Go through the air. Follow your gut. Do what feels good. It's time to move. It's very nomadic energy. There you are. Chariot. Justice in your favour. 9 of Cups. It's like, go where the wind takes you. Follow the feeling. The physical follows the energy. Follow the feeling. It's like you could be waiting for confirmation to do something, to go somewhere, to take an adventure. It feels like a very adventurous energy. It's like your knowing is the confirmation. And it's like, even if there was external confirmation, you're not going to trust the external confirmation, because to confirm the external confirmation, you're going to come back within to know if it's actually genuinely confirmation or some kind of illusion of confirmation. Your confirmation still comes from you. You know without needing something. Something's coming through. I was watching a video, always say this, can't remember the guy's name, and he was just saying about how you don't need someone to tell you to know God. And he was explaining about how the Bible and how separate it is from Rasta and the teaching and the following and the practices, and that you don't need a book, because then what you're saying is that if you can't read or you can't write, you can't know God. If you can't see, or you can't literally, or maybe just can't read, or you can't write. If you can't hear the word of God, does that mean you don't know God? It's like, man knows God, whatever God is to you, without being told, taught, having it read, having it written. If you just sprung up on earth your first day today, it's like you wouldn't need to go and read something to be able to connect, to be able to tap in, to be able to know the divine. And it's like, this is something that doesn't even need to be taught. It's something that's passed down energetically, emotionally, in terms of DNA, in terms of things that can't be explained, in terms of whatever. And this is a knowing, it's a feeling that you have. It's like, it could feel it doesn't make sense why you feel called to do this, go there, be around this person, not be around that person. It feels like it doesn't make sense. But it's like really trusting yourself, that to not need external validation, to be able to follow your truth just with that knowing. 9 of Pentacles. Ace of Swords. It's like, even with me, like when I watch readings, I love tarot and I always watch readings. And it's like, as much as sometimes I will intentionally watch a reading because the title will say something that is like, actually that's the energy I need right now. It's like, if it's an uplifting title and I'm in a bad place, even if my knowing is this reading's nothing to do with me, but this reading and this energy is the frequency that I need right now. That's where I want to shift to. That's the intention. So I'll watch it and get excited about it, like, yeah, but I know that it's not. And then I'm like, yeah, this isn't even for me, let me turn it off. But yeah, it felt good. It felt like it got me into that place of open-heartedness and joy. And it feels like that you can't make something fit that's not meant to fit. And you, as much as you could entertain the idea of going somewhere different, or not going where you feel to go, or doing what you feel to do, like, I know when I'm entertaining myself watching the reading to feel good, and when I'm watching it, and a lot of the times when I'm watching it, when I know I'm meant to be watching it, it doesn't feel good, because it's that gut feeling that's uncomfortable of telling me exactly what I don't want to hear, because I already know it, but I don't want to listen. It's like, you really have all the answers right now, and that's what could be overwhelming, because you know exactly what to do. But there could be some doubt. It's like the energy here right now, and with the full moon, it feels like really pushing things to boiling point. Things will bubble over. Things are going to clear. It's going to feel like, if things are feeling extremely heavy, it's not going to last forever. You're going to be moving out of this. The way to move out of this is to continue to fill your cup. do what you need to do to adjust, adapt with the energy, with the feeling, the desire for a more meaningful life. Seeing everything you can do, but feeling like you need to hold on to something, that it's like not wanting to loosen your grip. Some kind of doubt, some kind of fear. Get into a place of celebration. Fear's the same as celebration. Do what you need to do to feel good. Shake it off, take a different approach. Instead of something feeling like a burden, it's like go and get yourself into a place of celebration, pamper yourself, feel good, get excited about it. Maybe find one thing to focus on that excites you. Could be the smallest thing. Maybe you want to put on an event or something, but it feels like a burden, all the things to do. Maybe you're into creative stuff and you want to focus on decoration first. Maybe it's the last thing you need to do, but if it can spark that feeling, maybe look at that first. Things will unfold. Take the first step, the way will appear. It's like, do you want to be happy or not? That depends on you. Feels like really hypnotizing yourself at this time. High Priestess. It's all a dream. Let it go. It's like if you want something to be heavy, it will be. If you want it to be light, it will be. Something's coming up for me to share. The other day I had someone booked a personal reading and I was so rough. Like I had not been well, been sick, I wasn't feeling good. It felt like all different kinds of symptoms, physical, spiritual, emotional. I was just wiped out, eclipse energy. And there's no way that I felt that I was going to be able to do it. And I just was like, everything I had learned, it's like quickly, everything you've learned, put it into action. And I was like, okay, if I want to do it, it's a choice. So I thought, let me just make myself feel better. Like, if I choose to be well, I will be. If I choose to not be, I won't be. So I started washing my hair and I had this song come through. And it was like, I can't even remember what it was, but it was something like, do you want to be happy? Like, do you want to be healthy or do you want to be sick? That's a choice. Do you want to feel like shit or do you want to rejoice? That's a choice. Like, if you're going to do the reading, you're going to do that, you're going to do it. If you're not going to do it, you're not. It's a choice. If you want to continue feeling like shit, it's a choice to keep telling yourself that. It's like, oh, I don't feel well, I can never do this, I'm never going to be able to do this. And I was actually wiped out. So now I'm washing my hair, dancing around, singing around, telling myself, I'm doing the reading. I feel great. I feel better already. Like absolutely delusional. I'm sweating. I'm like, just like my nose is running, everything, coughing, choking, absolute havoc. And I'm jumping, I'm dancing. After I wash my hair, I put on some music and I'm dancing while I'm literally look like I'm falling apart and singing to myself how great I feel and that I'm going to do the reading and shifting the energy. I did the reading. The impossible was made possible because I just consumed myself in thought and feeling and vibration and belief, pure belief that everything's good, it's over. And it's just that reminder that we really choose how we feel, what we want to do, what we want to experience. It's like, if something's a burden, it's because you're seeing it as a burden. And if you don't want to see it as a burden, see it as a celebration. What do you need to let go of to create space to celebrate? What doesn't feel good? Why doesn't it feel good? What needs to change? Maybe something completely doesn't need to change, but it would feel more you if you did it this way. Maybe you're traveling somewhere, but actually you don't feel comfortable traveling in a certain way or with a certain friends or family or whatever it is. Maybe you want to do something on your own. Maybe you want to travel on the water. Maybe that's what you feel called to do. And you feel like something's not right because you're being told by someone else that you need to get a flight. It's like, follow your gut. Is something feeling like a burden, or are you abandoning yourself in some way? A windfall of money, advice or assistance from others, a very successful project, a happy change in your career. Cautious but wise action, meticulous attention to detail, kindness to others. Dependable, protective, chivalrous and humorous. 333 on the clock. A financial windfall, your leadership skills are needed now. An unexpected supporter of your cause. King of Spring. Inspiring, innovative, wise, theatrical. The Hummingbird, number 44. Yeah, sitting on the 8 of Wands. It's like the difference of hard life programming. It's like, oh, life's got to be so hard, and then you shift your perspective to life can be so easy. It's like, and not easy, but it's like an approach, a perspective. Be mindful you're not carrying a perspective with you from the past that no longer serves you, because it's a way you needed to think, a mentality you needed to have in order to survive. But now it's like it needs to be dropped so that you can thrive moving forward. And in a way, aggressiveness, the badger, it's like maybe you need to get aggressive about your peace. That maybe it's harder for you to be peaceful or to relax or to know that all is well. It feels like really learning just to be in the uncomfort, knowing all is well. And if it means being aggressive to slow down, whereas some people may need that aggression to motivate them to move, it feels like your discipline needs to be channeled into alignment, calming, or not calming, grounding. Like anchoring within yourself. I know what I'm trying to say. It ain't coming out very well. If you get it, you get it. Page number 213. Hummingbird, joyful little sister, nectar you crave. All the sweetness of the flowers is the love you gave. Hummingbird is associated with the ghost shirt religion, which taught that a certain dance done properly would bring about the return of the animals, and that white people would disappear. Once again, the original people would know the joy of the old ways. In Mayan teachings, Hummingbird is connected to the black sun and the fifth world. Hummingbird can give us the medicine to solve the riddle of the contradiction of duality. The song of Hummingbird awakens the medicine flowers. Hummer sings a vibration of pure joy. Flowers love Hummingbird because nectar sucking brings about the reproduction of their families. Plants flower and live because of Hummingbird. Hummingbird can fly in any direction, up, down, backward and forward. Hummingbird can also hover in one spot and appear to be motionless. Interesting, the fox dropped out earlier, camouflage, and I just see him when I said appear to be motionless. About moving with the winds. Not creeping, but like inconspicuous. It feels like this isn't a time to be flamboyant, but it's a time to be flamboyant in your movement behind the scenes. It's like elaborate action in an indiscreet, or in a way, it's like not everyone needs to know about everything, but that doesn't mean to slow down. It doesn't mean not slow down, it doesn't mean to dream less or do something smaller. But there's a different way it's going to be done. What it feels like the difference of is having loads of followers on social media and kind of doing what you're doing, or living in a way like how in very high-end businesses or people that own brands that multi-billion, million, whatever businesses, that you don't really see what goes on. Like the elite of the elite, you don't see what their children are doing on a day-to-day, what they're up to on a day-to-day, where they live, what their home looks like, what's going on. It's like certain things are protected, certain things are kept sacred, certain things are kept special. It feels like that contrast to doing things. Maybe you are a very private person and then you take something very public. Maybe you're a very public person, then you take something very private. It's like something is shifting. Maybe you don't like socializing and now you're about to be running a community or leading a community, interacting in some way. Maybe you don't trust in your gifts, or you don't feel like you're good enough to do something. And now you're about to be putting yourself in the spotlight. It's a very contrasted energy. Something's changing. But it doesn't mean that something's less than, it's different. If anything, like I was saying, it's making it more special because it's more you. And it's like really just trusting the changes that are taking place, letting things fall where they need. These autumn cards, and I'm seeing the leaves, it's like letting things change, letting things fall. The natural cycle of life and death. That rebirth energy. Great Spirit created Hummingbird to be slightly different from other feathered creatures. Because of their magical qualities, hummingbird feathers have been used for a millennium in the making of love charms. It is said that hummingbird conjures love as no other medicine does, and that hummingbird feathers open the heart. Without an open and loving heart, you can never taste the nectar and pure bliss of life. To brother and sister hummingbird, life is a wonderland of delight, darting from one beautiful flower to another, tasting the essences and radiating the colours. If hummingbird is your personal medicine, you love life and its joys. Your presence brings joy to others. You join people together in relationships, which brings out the best in them. You know instinctively where beauty abides, and near or far, you journey to your ideal. You move comfortably within a beautiful environment and help others taste the succulent nectar of life. Something that just come through there is relationship coaching, and how maybe you may be changing something from either working one-to-one to working in a group, or doing something in a certain location, maybe traveling, changing location, or helping others in their relationships with things that you've learned. That's not going to be for everyone, but that's just something that's come through there on a side note. If that's something that's been coming up for you, it's like, don't dismiss it. There may be something to look into, something you're here to do. Hummingbird holds the bow of beauty, which is delicately inlaid with gold and silver flowers, pearls and precious jewels. Hummingbird disdains ugliness or harshness, and quickly flies away from discord or harmony. If Hummingbird has flown into your cards, get ready to laugh musically and enjoy Creator's many gifts. Drop your judgmental attitude and relax. Discord in this book, but then Discord, isn't that a name of some kind of thing, an app or a thing, a community thing, or I don't know. But there's something coming through about this. Maybe it's changing from like one-to-one coaching to community, or maybe vice versa, or the way that you're marketing something, the way that you're running something or interacting. Maybe going from online to face, or maybe vice versa. There's something about the way you're interacting with, when it comes to business, about making slight changes. If Hummingbird has flown into your cards, get ready to laugh musically and enjoy Creator's many gifts. Drop your judgmental attitude and relax. Hummingbird will no doubt give you a flash of the spirit darting here, there and everywhere. Get ready for a strange new burst of energy, which may send your senses reeling. Hummingbird hears celestial music and is in harmony with it. Hummingbird may invite you to an art museum or a concert. Hummingbird energetically embraces the highest aesthetics. Never be coarse in front of Hummingbird, for this is a fragile medicine, which may have no understanding of worldly affairs. Beauty is the target, and Hummingbird's mission is to spread joy or to be destroyed. Hummingbird quickly dies if caged, caught, or imprisoned. Follow Sister Hummingbird and you will soon be filled with paroxysms of joy and experience a renewal of the magic of living. 444. Moon in Aries. Remain sensitive to others to avoid confrontation. On the Hummingbird, it feels like actually avoiding it. Set boundaries, hibernation, move away from the drama. It's like follow the joy, follow the feeling. People could be coming in distracting you, things could be coming up to irritate you. It's like keep your power. Moon in Cancer. Spend time with family or helping others. Avoid situations that can be a drain on your emotions. Scorpio. Number 3, Sitel. He is good inside and out, a lofty soul whose strong charisma attracts favourable attention. He is aware of his good luck and the strong possibility of financial success. Always active, he breathes life and lives each day in his own special way. His pride does not allow him to ask favours of anybody. Although a lone worker, he has many friends, to whom he generally gives accurate advice as he possesses good judgment and has a wide understanding of situations. He generally forgives those who try to do him wrong. Sometimes he appears a little inhibited for no reason. Page number 14, Planet Neptune. Reasons for invoking: to keep us calm in the face of adversity, to protect us from car accidents, muggings and other attacks, to give us strength and will in our commitments. Seventh chakra, crown chakra, grace. The grace of a higher power is within me, and I move through life knowing this. Truth. I believe in a higher power, and I know that it is within and around me, offering assistance and guidance. I surrender all my fears and burdens to a higher power. I am open to receive grace, and I trust in a higher power. I am worthy. Listen to your heart, intuitive insights you can trust, taking care of others perhaps too much. The sunflowers on this card, sunflowers move towards the sun. Loving, comforting, emotional, intuitive. Follow what lights you up. Delays are over, sudden or unexpected, good luck, a new car or travel. Number 10, the wheel. I'm going to leave it there. If this did resonate, like, share and subscribe. I'll catch you guys soon. Sending so much love.